Today on ELN Morning.
Close to home, one local business owner is bringing a piece of home to her Eastern European customers.
Supporting survivors. Survivors of sexual and gender-based violence are sharing their stories tonight with help from the GLC.
Having those conversations will always be uncomfortable, it will be, painful, but it will always be necessary.
And planning ahead, the university is making changes to the master plan after getting students' feedback. We'll share what's to come.
Today, March 24th, 2022.
This is ELN Morning. Happy Thursday morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Ashlyn Deloughy.
And I'm Baylor Rodman. We welcome you inside the Jane and Brian Williams studio for another edition of ELN Morning. Ashlyn, great to be back with you after our little spring break getaway.
Yeah, I know. It was a nice little reset before the second half of the semester.
Absolutely.
Now we're back in classes, but this time without masks.
This time's without masks. Last time you and I were together, we were talking about the big change that was to come, and here it is. So we begin our coverage there.
For the first time in nearly 2 years, Elon students are attending classes without masks.
Yeah, we talked to a couple of students to hear about their reactions to the lifted mandate.
I think if I feel sick, definitely. I'm in a placement right now, so if numbers in the county go up, just to keep the kids at those schools safe and the students here, I would probably put one back on. But if everything stays level, I am definitely comfortable and trust the vaccine.
At first I was a little bit nervous about what my classmates would be doing and my professors would be wanting, but it's been a smooth transition so far, I think.
They've been great. They're all super open to us keeping our masks on if we want to, on days we feel sick, obviously if we're up to coming to class, to keep ourselves and everyone else safe. So it's been really great that everyone can still do what they feel comfortable doing.
Ukrainian forces continue to push back against Russian troops surrounding the capital city, Kyiv, as today marks 1 month since Russia's invasion began. President Biden is set to attend an emergency NATO summit in Brussels after he says there is a, quote, real threat Putin would turn to chemical warfare.
Are really into an international brand that is making millions of dollars in Russia, right? Send them a tweet or a message on whatever social media or email them to say, hey, this is, you're supporting a regime that is breaking all fundamental norms and laws of society, and you should not be making money off of that.
That was political science and policy studies professor Safi Swimilar. She has a background in European politics, and she said there that students should be on the lookout for ways that they themselves can continue to put on the pressure. To read more about that interview, you can pick up a copy of this week's Pendulum.
As world leaders continue to make policies to end the war on Ukraine, closer to home, our Margaret Faust talked to one grocery store owner who is doing her part to make Eastern Europeans feel less alone.
Taking inventory, ringing up customers, and stocking the shelves. This is how Margot Jata-Kobus spends the day at the grocery store she owns, Euro Deli Mart. But beyond that, she chats with customers and makes them feel welcome.
I love it. And half of them, or even 2/3 of them, are my friends. So it's not like you're going to Walmart. Here is happy place.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine, this happy place has become a somber one. Kobus is a Polish immigrant. She says the store is where other Eastern Europeans can come together and process the war back home.
Unnecessary mess. I'm saying every day to each of one of them who is coming here. So, we got to pray and hope it's going to go away.
While Kobus waits for peace, people in her home country are helping refugees. In fact, according to the UN Refugee Agency, 60% of Ukrainian refugees are now in Poland. Kobus says she is proud of her country for helping, but nervous that this is more than it can bear.
But I'm a little scared how that's going to be, because it's millions of people. Where are we going to get the food? That I'm scared of. I hope different countries are going to help.
In the meantime, Kobus is doing her part to help. Recently, she met her Ukrainian friends at church to collect donations for refugees. Margaret Faust, ELN Morning.
Says her inventory has been stalled because of the war. She says if she can't get her usual products from Ukraine, she'll have to improvise.
Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright died after battling complications with cancer, her family announced yesterday. She spoke here at Elon for spring convocation back in 2009, where she discussed the role of education in a changing world and the importance of international learning.
I just happen to love academic surroundings, and it's a particular pleasure to visit this great university. After all, what's not to like? Back in the late 19th century, the founders of Elon College hoped to build something different than the ivory towers of the day. They envisioned a place that would not only train students to think great thoughts, but also to take actions that would enrich and improve people's lives. And today, Elon is one of the rising academic institutions in America.
Albright, serving during the Clinton administration, was the first woman to hold the office of Secretary of State. She was 84.
The candidates for Elon University's Student Government Association's next student body president spoke to students at the Oak House to share their vision for Elon's future. Our Naomi Washington has the story.
The candidates discussed the importance of diversity, bureaucracy, and campus life. Sophomore candidate Andrew Lim says he wants to fix the problems student groups have with Elon.
There's a communication problem between groups, between SGA and SGA doing its job. We are not doing our job in terms of reaching out to the groups that we need to be reaching out to.
Junior candidate Chase Solomon says SGA can improve on working together with other campus organizations.
We may have good intentions, but at the end of the day, we need to be, more cohesive as a full unit in order for us to move, truly forward together.
Junior candidate Nadine Jose says what matters to her most is serving the student body's greatest needs.
It's a great title, and it gives me a lot of potential and a lot of access into rooms that I haven't been, but my sole purpose is truly to improve the experience of the student body.
Naomi Washington, ELN Morning.
To read more about the SGA races, pick up a copy of this week's Pendulum and tune into our broadcast on Monday at 6 p.m.
As the university continues to plan its future both inside the classroom and out, students were able to review the master plan this week and give feedback in a town hall discussion. University architect Brad Moore is a member of the long-term planning committee. He says outdoor improvements are a priority for students, and the walkway connecting Colonnades and the Danley Center is set for completion this summer.
We've heard a lot of complaints that the Danley students feel like they're just not part of campus. And so I'm really excited to build that connection to really help them feel like they are part of our campus.
Freshman Julie Zagari says she's enjoyed her campus experience living in the Colonnades neighborhood, but wants better lighting on the walkways.
You could trip. When I walk sometimes to go eat dinner, I feel like there could be more lighting. Because you could trip or something like that.
The master plan is set to be updated with this feedback and new information from senior staff members to be finalized at the end of the semester. All right, 9 minutes after the hour now, and just across the streets during the train tracks were closed this morning. We're told there was ants there. It was a whole situation. It seems to be cleared out there, but we've got Michael Wolff under the Oaks with our weather ahead. The tracks are behind him, but for information about that, you probably noticed it when you were walking here to the studio.
Yeah.
If you were walking to class, but you can check that out on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Baylor and Ashlyn. A cooler 64 degrees out here on Citroen Plaza right now, and moving into the mid to low 40s as we head into the overnight hours. Now let's take a look at your Phoenix 5-day forecast. 62 degrees tomorrow, 57 on Saturday, with blustery winds to be expected in the afternoon. 56 degrees on Sunday, 59 on Monday, and 50 degrees on Tuesday as we head into next week. Back to y'all on the couches.
Michael Wolff live with the weather under the Oaks, not under the Oaks, on Citroen Plaza this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Michael.
Tonight, students can share their story for what may be the first time. The Gender and LGBTQIA Center is hosting Take Back the Night on Zoom, an event where survivors of sexual and gender-based violence can join in solidarity to share their stories. GLC student assistant Jayla Martin Beasley says talking about these topics brings a sense of healing and community.
Having those conversations will always be uncomfortable. It will be, painful, but it will always be necessary. And it can be necessary for different people for different reasons, for, like I said, healing process, for validation, for community, for getting that support and getting resources and safety.
If you want to participate and Take Back the Night, you can visit the link on any of the GLC's social media platforms, including Instagram and Facebook.
Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson is in the middle of confirmation hearings, and according to a recent Gallup poll, 58% of Americans support her nomination. For Elon law student Jamali Wyatt Butford, this moment is one that she'll remember forever in her law career.
Representation does matter, and so for myself and other women who look like me, whether it's we're already in that area of law or, young girls who wherever. At the end of the day, the concept is, one, representation matters, and it's nice to see someone who looks like me doing really big things.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is set to vote on her nomination to the High Court April 4th, for all 100 senators to vote by April 11th.
The newly nationally ranked Elon Club baseball team will be playing at Burlington Athletic Stadium, the home of the Burlington Sock Puppets, this weekend. The team will be playing the College of William and Mary in their first time playing at the stadium. Club baseball president Zach Chofie says this is a great chance to give back to the community.
And fans to come support the team and see the team. At our home field here, we only have a little bleacher, fit 15 people, so it's a cool opportunity to get a bigger crowd and get a real home field advantage.
The teams tee off at 10 a.m. on both Saturday and Sunday, with another game on Sunday starting at 12.
Well, that's going to be fun. I might head out.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You should. Go out and support.
The Burlington Sock Puppet Stadium is very nice. There's a lot of student workers who are there, too, so they'll definitely have that home field advantage.
Home field advantage, yeah.
Elon support there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the news we have for you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, for all the news you need to know when we're not on the air, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
We'll see you back here Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Elon Local News.
Have a great weekend, Elon.